Okay, you guys are recording and I'm going to go away.
Hi, Rebecca. Hey, it's been a couple weeks since we talked last time. I really appreciate you getting on and looking forward to our coaching session today. Um,
Likewise. Good to see you, Dean, as always. Thank you for taking
yeah,
the time.
yeah. One of the things that I always start out with, and kind of most people won't know, but I just asked the quick question just because I want it to be about you
Mhm.
and not so much about myself. Is there any specific thing that you really want to deal with right now?
So, in my job right now, we're experiencing a period of transition and growth. And we're really trying to bring on some new talent, trying to attract some new people. Our team's kind of at a standstill. I feel like we've grown just incrementally the past few years, but we haven't made any major leaps and bounds. So we're just feeling kind of stuck in a moment. So that's really something we just need to overcome.
Okay. And and so you're talking about the real estate business that you're
Yes.
involved in,
Yes.
and finding new agents to come in and
Mhm.
get some fresh blood in there to get that energy going
Yep.
and get the momentum going once again. Yeah.
Absolutely, that's correct.
Yeah.
We have a great team dynamic. Everybody who's currently on the team, we all work well together, we communicate well, but just nobody's taking that extra little step to really, get some fresh business flowing. Our business is primarily referrals and word of mouth, and there's only so far that can take you until it starts to dry up a little bit. So we need to
Mhm.
get some fresh energy going both with clients and with our team.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, do you have a timeline for hiring more agents?
Um, so that's something we're also wishy washy on. So since I'm on with you today, right here, right now, I'm going to set a firm goal. So we're going to hire somebody by the beginning of next quarter. We're currently in first quarter, so by April, we're going to have somebody completely hired, onboarded, and ready to start selling some real estate. So if that means bringing somebody on who already has a license and just getting them up to speed, that's fine. We can also take somebody from 0 to 60 and put them through real estate school as well. So
Oh,
whatever
wow.
that means, the right person we're willing to train. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's your company's culture like right now? How is
so
the
right
new
now,
hire going to kind of fit into that?
yeah. So right now we all share a similar set of basic morals. That's something that we really strongly identify with. We're all Christian people and we are motivated by helping people get in the right home for their situation, no matter the price point. So we're not after anybody who's after any quick money, any easy money. We're not after somebody who just wants to deal in luxury products. It's all about getting people in a home that they're going to make happy memories in. So as long as somebody has a good heart and a thick skin, I mean, real estate's tough, but
Yeah.
really, just as long as they have a good moral compass, that's all we need from you to start.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you think about that, it sounds like you really begin to paint the picture of a family,
Absolutely.
of growth in a family. And, even in a family, there's turmoil, there's
Sure.
situations, there's lack of growth, there's all these
Mhm.
different things that are going on. So, how do you set yourself apart from other real estate teams?
So, going back to our referral based system, a lot of times people think about realtors like they're doctors or they're dentists. You're only going to call up your real estate agent when you need something. Like it's time to buy or sell something, or oh no, my roof just caved in. I just need some help. We try to actually become friends or a family, as you said, with our clients. We pop by everybody and knock on your door at least once a quarter,
Hmm.
usually bearing gifts. Once a month, we try to update you on your home values. We have mailers. Like, we really commit to digging in deep and becoming an asset and a friend to our clients. So, we're not just going to put you through a transaction and throw you off to the side. And
Right.
it's something that's really special and it's kind of rare. So, we pride ourselves on that.
Yeah. So, what's your biggest dream or goal for the future of your company? What do you think?
So, our biggest dream in the year to come is to hopefully increase our sales, 25% or so. But the ultimate goal is to grow large enough to become fully independent, to form our own brokerage, and to be a force in the community of good and of change. So I know that that's like a very small goal just to get our sales up, and then there's a huge goal at the end where we have great local notoriety and everybody knows our names and knows that we're the people who you call for real estate. So that's two very similar goals, but they've got a lot of distance between them. So
Yeah.
you have any tips for how to bring those two goals closer together? I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Well, what are the obstacles do you think you're facing right now in trying to grow? What's the biggest obstacle that you're facing?
Time primarily. It's not so much that we're in a super duper hurry to get this thing built up fast, but here in a couple of months when spring season hits and certainly summer market, the market's so hot right now and everything's going so fast. We aren't going to have as much time to dedicate to onboarding and training for our new hires. So that's something that I'm really going to have to knuckle down and commit to office days and times to really put the work into the team as well as into our business. That's sort of a transition, but that's something we're going to need to work on. Just time is our biggest hurdle.
Right. Right. And you realize everybody gets the same amount of time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We
We're
can't.
not making any more of it.
Yeah.
We all need the
I wish we could manipulate that thing called time. That would
Yeah.
be fun. But I always say, so when you're talking about, are you talking about managing your time?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay,
Because
that was a trick question because
yeah,
we can't manage time. Can
yeah,
we?
yeah, exactly.
Everybody gets 24 hours. What we can manage is we can manage our activities.
Hmm.
We can't, because everybody gets 24 hours, but we can't, we can manage our activities. So how much time are you spending putting in trying to get new agents?
So right now we're pushing hard and we're putting out ads all over the place. We're trying to conduct interviews twice a week. But as far as actual hours, I'm going to tell you the truth, Dean, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's in
sure.
flux.
Yeah. So when you're trying to get the word out there, who is making, who's making most of the calls to, what do you call a real estate agent or a real estate person and say, hey,
Yeah.
we're looking for you to come and join our team.
Hmm. Yes. So
And it
that's
could
a
be
couple
from
of
some
different
other
ways.
real estate company, right?
Yeah, and that's what's hard is if you call around to other real estate companies, a lot of times people chose to work there for a reason. So for the most part, we're looking at people who are freshly in the business or they're turning on a license after they entered retirement age. So that's a little bit tough. But yeah, primarily it's either myself reaching out and making the ads and doing the correspondence, or it's our team leader, John. And John's really great on the phone, but it's just a matter of tackling him and making him call people. So
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, because don't you think that this thing right here,
Mhm.
is it's an 800-pound gorilla.
Yep, absolutely.
And I'll tell you, it can take you down almost every time
Hmm.
when it gets down to calling and getting people to listen to you, and hopefully
Yep.
they'll take you and give you the time of day.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so let me just kind of do a little twist here as far as like because it's pretty normal. What you do is you call, you put time in, you have a script probably that you go
Mhm.
off of,
Sure.
and you don't waver from that script. And so what happens is a lot of times when we begin to deal with things, or when we begin to move in an area of growth or
Mhm.
newness or the next level, or changing something, what happens is we deal with this thing called the self-image.
Mhm.
And the self-image a lot of times dictates what we see through our own lenses of how we perceive ourselves, even as a company. A
Yeah.
company has a self-image, right? And
Mhm.
so what I liked what you said earlier was that you are you're putting together to where you're going to have your first real estate hire by when was it?
By April.
By April of this year.
Yes.
You're going to have, so do you have a board or do you have a sheet up there to where you're saying, I am so happy and grateful now that we have our first agent on or before April 1st or April 2nd? Do you have something like that?
I don't have that currently, but I can certainly put one up. Yep, I've got a
Yeah.
whiteboard over here.
Yeah. Here's what's interesting. Do you know that everything is created twice, right?
Mhm.
And most people,
Twice, what?
yeah, and most people go, what? Well, everything's see, my glasses, they were created twice. My suit, my business, my chair. It started in the mind of one person at one time, and all of a sudden they said, you know what? We need to make some glasses that have these things to where we can stick behind your ears. And so they had this idea, and as they had this idea, what happened was it began to formulate, and the next thing you know, it manifests into physical form. So that's the second show up, right? So it's invented twice, if you will. Like if you go to Edison and the light bulb, he had it in his mind. Ford, Etzel, the space stations, all of this stuff is all an imagination at one time in your mind to where it manifests into physical form. There's no different than a business. There's no different as far as so as you begin to tap into the subconscious part of your mind and you begin to grow into a place where you begin to see it already happen before it happened. So you already see that agent on board, you see him over there in your desk and the whole 9 yards. So just begin to put a little piece of paper together and say, I am so happy and grateful now that, and the reason for that is now that it brings it into the moment right here, brings it into the now. It's present tense. It's not like out in the future. Like
Yeah.
I will have a real
Mhm.
estate agent. No, I'm so happy and grateful now that we have a real estate agent on April 1st of this year. And so begin to paint the picture in your mind, just like a person that has a blank canvas, right?
Mhm.
And you have paint brushes and everything else. And even if they're looking off into the distance to look and paint the landscape, it's still an image in their mind. They're capturing this image, they're taking a picture. And as they do that, what happens is now they begin to paint the picture and it begins to show up. Now, you wouldn't want me to paint the picture of the mountain because it probably wouldn't look like a mountain if I painted it. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think of that as I share that with you?
That's really powerful, Dean. That's really great advice. I haven't thought about it that way. I used to journal a lot a few years ago, and I really believe in the power of intention and positive thinking. And I didn't really think to apply that to my business life. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I really appreciate your time and I respect it. And we're kind of running short here. I
Yeah.
always ask at the end of a coaching session, what are you going to take away? What's one thing that you're going to take away from this session today?
Just what we talked about there at the very end. I'm going to set my goal like it's already happened, and I'm going to have that gratitude in my heart, and I'm going to believe that the good Lord is going to bring us the right person by April.
Amen. Amen. Good job. Well, I appreciate you, Rebecca, and I thank you for all that you
Thank
do.
you.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Mm. On with the show. Here we go. Whoops.
Woo.